Today's collectible spot, we are having a look at the Medicom Toys Mafex, the Joker from Suicide Squad. This is Mafex figure number 32, and Spot just recently picked this up from his local comic book store. This features Joker in his, I don't want to say his trademark jacket, because he has several different appearances during, or different looks, I should say, during the course of Suicide Squad. But this is, I guess, the closest to a Joker in the fact that he's got his purple trench coat on. This Joker also comes with an interchangeable head, a pistol, a cane, and as you can probably see, a multitude of different interchangeable hands. Featured down below is one of his replacement heads. I think it's a little excessive, to be honest. If anything, I might just display him with the head that you see currently in the neck socket. The side of the package shows you what that other head looks like, along with the Suicide Squad to the left. And on the back of the package, well, you've got, again, the two different heads, the interchangeable accessories, a strange pose for the Joker, and him holding his cane. To check out more from the folks over at Medicom Toys, head over to www.medicomtoy.co.jp. With that, I'm going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, though, we're going to get a better look at the Suicide Squad Mafex Joker from Medicom Toys. There's going to be more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. How about the first thing we have a look at with Mafex Joker is he comes with a clear display base. Yes, it is the same display base or same style of base as the Superman, the Batman, and Wonder Woman that we've also looked at from the Mafex line. In that regards, you can also take the neck off and it can be adjusted to either of the three peg holes on the display stand. You can also adjust the neck in both the lower, mid, and top section of the neck, and this also will rotate and have your waist clip. I don't see the Joker being a more dynamic figure such as a Wonder Woman, Batman, or a Superman, in which I would warrant having the figure on a levitation display or any sort of dynamic display. But that being said, I might even find myself doing that with the Clown Prince of Crime at later times. Who's to say, really? Nice that they include it. I probably will just default him by having him just standing straight as you see. Let's move that to the side and we'll look at the... we'll look at actually, you know what, we'll look at Joker first. I know sometimes we look at accessories first, but let's have a look at the figure first, and then we'll look at all the accessories that he comes included with. This will probably be one of the strangest descriptions I will make, or one of the strangest comments I will make about a figure. I got this guy out of packaging, and I noticed a smell about him. No, not your traditional plastic smells or petroleum smells or anything like that, but smelling him. Even smelling him right now. I don't know if it's his jacket, but I kid you not, even the camera doesn't know what it wants to do. I kid you not, the figure I find smells like blueberry pancakes. I know. Blueberry pancakes, I find this figure smells like. And it might, I think, just be the jacket I'm smelling. I don't know what the paint is or the plastic that they've used. I find I smell blueberry pancakes. You have this figure, please smell your figure too and let me know whether you smell blueberry pancakes. I know it's one of the strangest things you'll probably hear a reviewer describe a figure as. But yes, he does have his silver, or not quite silver, but like metallic purple jacket. I think it's an interesting look for the Joker, pairing that with his Arkham attire, and of course bare feet on the underside there. Figure looks pretty good. One thing you can do is take the arms off. Just a strange thing to be doing, but you can take the arms off. And you can take the jacket off too. I want to do that just so you can see the details to the tattoo portion of the Joker figure. Now granted, I've always said this, and I'll sound like a broken record by saying this, you can't put the arms back in. They really could have afforded giving you a second pair of arms so that if you wanted to have a bare-chested Joker, you could have accommodated that as well. But sadly, not the case here. Not the case here. Face is really good on this, the defaulted face with Joker, and you got damage and all his little tattoos on his face, and of course all over his torso. The back of it doesn't really have anything to speak of. The intention likely due to the fact that they know you're going to put the jacket or leave the jacket on the figure, but I just want to take the jacket off so you can see what it looked like. We'll slide it back on, sliding it like in place, and plugging the arms back into their corresponding sockets. There we go. All right, so let's have a good look at his face, and then we'll look at the interchangeable face. Face, very distinct Suicide Squad Joker. It's actually a look I've grown to, not grown to like, but actually have grown to accept, I guess is the best way to describe it. It's not the Joker I would have grown up with, not the big smiling clown prince of crime. This is something a little bit different. It's his own beast. But I think the figure design or character design is pretty good. Mafex, from a figure standpoint, or Medicom Toys from a figure standpoint, I think has done justice to this particular figure. The Wonder Woman was good that we just recently looked at. Superman was also pretty good. Batman was also pretty good too. So it's been they've been batting pretty high when it comes to overall well-executed figures. Then you get to the interchangeable head. Now, this is not something that I'm personally a fan of. I'm going to bring the camera in just slightly so you can see the differencing between the heads. The head's much more zanier on this Joker, I'll give it that. But I don't like the sculpt. This is acceptable, I think, from a Jared Leto Joker. But I don't know, there's something that gets lost when it starts getting more exaggerated with his facial sculpt. We can go ahead and take the head off. Very easy to swap out. Pop the new head in. Yeah, not crazy about it. I'll give them this. They went the mile of giving the tongue an extra sculpt. The tongue seems like it's a separate piece that's been sculpted in there. Teeth are acceptable. They almost look a little too dirty for my liking, as opposed to reading more like silver. I find the eyes are almost a little too purple in color as well. Not that this one was that much different, but it just balanced it a little bit better than this head sculpt here. For that, I think Spot's going to go ahead and remove this head and never speak of it again. Well, I'm sure I'll speak of it again. So there is the Joker. Overall, nice looking figure. He comes with his own cavalcade of accessories, one of which being the Joker purple cane. It has a little bit of silver paint on the end, and in the handle portion of it, he has some gold handle tips. They've even gone and sculpted this little faint black line in there as well. Or at least it appears to be a darker color than the rest of the purple that inhabits this cane. He also gets his trademark Joker pistol, which, as you can see, let's get the figure, I'm going to stand the figure up here. There we go. Let's get a close look at the gun here. As you can see, there is the Jester Joker head on the handle. Some scroll gold work on the side of the gun, as well as the top of the gun as well. Very, very nice gun. For really its size, you think about it, that's a small gun. The fact that they would go that much above and beyond, just giving us, I mean, comparing Mattel to this, Mattel would have likely just given us a purple gun. I think, I'm trying to remember, they actually just gave us a purple gun. It might have had a white handle, but that's really about it. Some of the other accessories that it comes with is mostly hands. Hands is where that you get a lot with Joker here. Some hands are for the one side of his body. So you've got, for example, hopefully the camera's picking that up. You got spades, diamonds, hearts, and clubs across his fingers, which I didn't realize he actually had those. And a couple of variations to that. One with a trigger finger for holding the gun. And another slightly relaxed palm. So you get 3 of those. And actually, that's not true. You get a 4th one for holding the cane. And then you get the rest of them, which has the very cool, I actually like this, the idea of tattooing a big smile on his hand. So he's literally just holding up his hand when he's laughing. And then he gets a couple of variations to that. A pair of relaxed hands, or one relaxed hand. One for, again, holding the gun, and one for holding the cane. The tattoo, or in this case the overlay that they've added to it, looks consistent with all the hands, so that's a nice touch. And if we're going to go ahead and change the hand, let's say, for example, we change, let's say we change this hand here. There we go. And let's change the other hand for holding the cane. Hardest part on a lot of these figures is just the small peg that lives into that socket portion. But you could, let's see here, you could technically get Joker to, by virtue of the fact that he's got the double bend elbow, you could actually have him doing the Joker smile. Of course, it has to be straightened a little bit. There we go. But he can actually pull it off, which is a nice accomplishment for a figure. And then you can go ahead and get the cane and slide that into his other hand. Very, very nice looking. Very nice. When it comes to his posability, let's kind of move everything out of the way here, and maybe for the virtue of that, bring the camera back a little bit too. When it comes to his posability, Joker has what you would expect from the Medicom Mafex figures, a nice ball joint in the head, but then he's got a secondary ball joint that's at the base of the neck, allowing for additional motion and movement there. Right there is that secondary ball joint. Shoulders not only can essentially hinge up and down, but then you've got the full rotation of the arm. Sometimes, because as you can see, the shoulder, the jacket sticks out as far as it does, you slightly have to angle the arm if you want to rotate the arm all the way around. And it also helps too to bring the arm down to get that extra clearance. Sometimes still pops out, but it's forgivable. At least for me, it's forgivable because I know it's not broken. It's just a sense of, why would I want to move the arm all the way around anyways? I'm almost inviting that arm from popping out of the socket. As we've already looked at, he does have a double hinge on the elbow. So nice, very clean transitions. Camera, please. Very nice, clean transitions from the bicep area to the sleeve. And I think the double hinged elbow does a pretty good job of going with that it doesn't look like it's a separate, other than the fact that it is a very noticeable hinge, but at least texture-wise, it carries over rather nicely. The arms are not only on a rotation, but they also can hinge back and forth. And he has an upper torso ball joint, a lower torso ball joint, and then for legs, forward, back, and out motion. These also kind of hinge in and out depending on how much clearance you want to allot for Joker. He has a nice bend at the knee. You can rotate the leg forward and back, and you have the hinge, a full rotation on the foot, and for good measures, he also does bend at the 4 toes. One consistent bend, not individually bending. There is the Joker, a rather nice, impressive looking figure. I mentioned this actually with the reviews of the other Mafex Batman v Superman figures, and I'll say it actually again for Joker here. Joker does so many things well. The figure is expensive, yes. This figure cost me at the comic book store, I want to say like 77 something, maybe 76 something, which some would say is high. But for me, it's all relative. As you've seen on this channel, Spot did like a lot of the Mattel Batman v Superman figures. Those were about $10 a piece, $9 or $10. This is basically where Spot will argue as to why I think these are a more valuable asset. Each one of those figures could be $9.99, $10 a piece. Let's say you pick up 7 of those figures. One's with like looking like RoboCop, maybe Superman with like a heat shield, whatever you would want to pick up. Pick up 7 of those figures, and that's the value of a figure like this. I personally would think a valuable figure like this, I don't mind spending more for it if it essentially, now granted I did reviewing of all of them, not for the virtue of me reviewing them. If I was just simply collecting them, I would have likely passed on picking them up at all, the Mattel ones that is, and I think I would have been more than happy just to pick up one of these figures in lieu of 7 of those. One good Superman versus many, many dismal efforts by a regular retail released action figure line. So for that reason, These are expensive, yes, but you really have to kind of look at the big picture. Are they expensive? Sure, but they're not as really as expensive as buying 7 individual figures that really for each one of them weren't all that great to start off with either. I think for Joker, you get a lot of bang for your buck. The quality is pretty good, the articulation is decent, and you really have all the accessories one would ask for a Joker figure. So for that, I would say he's recommended. Again, warranting the fact that he is well, in my area, he's over a $70 figure. Is he worth it? Some could say, well, you could spend another $100, $130 and get yourself a Hot Toys version. That's true. I mean, you could add any dollar amount on top of something and say, well, why don't you get this? But I think comparing this figure to retail released figures, I would have honestly just saved the money and picked up this guy instead. A really good figure, if you can find him, I would definitely say worth picking up. Today's toy spot, or today's collectible spot, we were having a look at the Medicom toys. This was the Mafex Joker from Suicide Squad. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Got more videos, that's true. More videos are heading to you in the very near future. Stay tuned for that. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.